everyone, it's your old friend Nick here. I've got a couple of things to tell you, story to tell you, live stream happening tomorrow, I'll give you the details on that. And I'm begging, borrowing, stealing, trying to find a Porsche 911 992 edition GTS for a video. But let's start with the story. My friends foolishly borrowed a car off me, one of my cars, my green Macan, and they drove to Canada, where it immediately broke down, it dropped all their fluids, and left them stranded amongst a bunch of French-speaking Canadians. So really they got the full Nick Murray experience, I feel. I mean, if you're foolish enough to borrow a car from me, you can expect it to break down, right? So unfortunately, I hope they're going to be okay. There's a Porsche dealer up there fixing it for them, and they'll be back in the next day or so. Gives me an idea. Maybe I should open a theme park, the Nick Murray experience, where you can hire a Porsche and you can drive it away and it will break down on you. I mean, money-making machine, right? I'll have a think about that. Anyway, on to big borrowing, stealing. As you know, I've been trying to do a video for months now where I compare the 992 generation 911 S model with the GTS model. And this has proved a lot more difficult than I thought, because every time somebody volunteers to lend me their GTS, they then start asking me, well, hang on, Nick, what are you going to say in this video? You are just going to praise the car, right? And then I'm mostly, but really what I'm doing here is I'm trying to compare the two. And you know, if you look on YouTube and you do a search on 992 GTS, I think there's like 150 videos out there from various YouTubers, some of them that I would normally have a lot of respect for, all saying the same things. They all say the same things. They say, you know, the cliches they come up with is, this is the car that sits between the S and the GT3. That makes me cringe. It's nothing like a GT3. More powerful, that remains to be seen. Sounds better, we'll see about that as well. And handles better. Everyone talks about the handling, how amazing the handling is, and it's down to the helper springs from the turbo. So it handles as well as a turbo or a Turbo S, which I'm like, what? On what planet did the Turbo and the Turbo S handle better than the Carreras in the first place? Because they didn't. The problem, of course, the little untold truth of the Turbo and the Turbo S is that they've got that old, heavy engine in the back, the 3.8 litre engine, which is like strapping a middle-aged old man to the back of your car. So they've never quite handled as well. And because of all that extra weight, they have to have a helper spring on there to stop the suspension from bottoming out. So one of the things that Porsche did in their lazy efforts to produce the GTS is they just went, oh, what parts can we grab from other models to make it look like we did some engineering here? And one of the parts they grabbed, of course, was the helper springs, and they stuck it on the GTS. And now apparently that is the miracle that makes the GTS handle a lot better than the S, supposedly. And maybe it is, you know, sometimes the GTS models are excellent, like the 718 GTS is far superior to the S model 718. And so yeah, Porsche really does do a good job with GTS models, but sometimes they're a little lazy with them. So I want to do a direct comparison, record the sound, check the performance, take a closer look at the handling between the two cars, and maybe I'll be surprised and it really is as amazing as everyone says. Or maybe we may not be surprised and find that it's pretty much like an S in a lot of ways. Some things might be better than S, some things might be worse than an S. We'll have to wait and see. But to do this, I need the two cars, and I have just been having so much trouble getting a GTS model. So I'm asking you guys, does anybody in the Connecticut, lower New York, upper New Jersey area have a GTS they'd be kind enough to let me have for a few hours, and thick-skinned enough that if I say something that isn't 100% complimentary about the car, you're going to be okay about it. That's all I'm looking for, so let me know. Please email me on this email address if you have one that I can use. That would be most appreciated. If not, I will keep scrounging at dealers or with Porsche Cars North America, but I'd much rather a private individual lend me their car. That way I can be completely honest without any influence from, you know, from the Porsche people. So yeah, I'd love to do that video. I think it'd be very interesting. I am somewhat skeptical about some of the things that other people say, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Finally today, a live stream. I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow, as promised. Tomorrow, the 2nd of October. It's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern here on the East Coast, 11 a.m. on the West Coast, the US, 7 p.m. in the UK, 8 p.m. in Europe. And if you're foolish enough to want to get up to talk to me in New Zealand, it's going to be 7 a.m. But it will probably last an hour or two, so you can jump in any time. Live streams are tough. They're tough to do. And I'm going to try and do a better job of keeping up with the questions. And you guys are welcome to ask me anything you like. It doesn't have to be about Porsches. It can be about helicopters. It can be about raising stuffed toy gorillas. It could be about me personally. Whatever you want to ask me or abuse me, come along to the live stream and let's have a chat. Anyway, that's it for me today. Thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you tomorrow on the live stream. And once again, let's find Nick a GTS 992 so I can do a comparison with the S and we can get to the bottom. We can finally get to the bottom of the truth about the GTS. Anyway, thanks everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye then.